Hello everybody, it's Jenny McGarvey and I am here with you today to share my week 44 of Project Life. I am going through some of the Chic Tags exclusive Halloween collection items. As you can see, I've got those all over there on the side. I'm going to go ahead and prepare my photos, which I've printed on my Canon selfie printer. And if you've ever watched my videos before, you know that I use that Canon selfie for everything. So it's a big thing I love and I use often, and it works out perfectly for me. Now, as you can see, I have thrown down my photos and I'm trimming up the two 3x4s that I had, and I am putting those in the slots, and I am using four 4x6s, which I don't feel like I normally do. I feel like I typically have maybe 3 of them, but this week was a really busy week, obviously with Halloween, so I had a ton of photos. So it works out just fine because I can go ahead and fill up all of those slots in my page protectors. Now I'm going through the stash of some other Chic Tags items that I have. I'm looking for some labels and for some speech bubbles that I know that I have, and I am assured myself that these will be perfect for journaling on this particular layout, excuse me, and it'll go great with the cards and the embellishments that I already have, and I can complete the entire week with just these items, which is really exciting because there's some really super cute pieces, and that's what I want to do. So adding the labels and the speech bubble journaling pieces will really help a lot. Now, as you can see, I have entered a filler card into that left slot and then a journaling card into the center slot. And I intend to go through the embellishments, see what they are, see what I have, figure out what's going on and where I'm going to place everything in the different spots. I don't want to embellish it too heavily. I'd like to stick to my typical sort of formula, which is a little bit of embellishing but keeping it fairly simple. But because it is a holiday week, it's really pretty fun to try something new, do something a little bit different, that kind of thing. So I am really looking forward to using some of those different embellishments on this particular layout. Now, as you can see, I have put down the cork October piece on that little bit where the spiders are, and I'm going to use it for a journaling card. And I will go through my stash and look for some alphabet stickers that will work for the little space that I'm kind of thinking. Now I'm going to use the label that I mentioned already that I found in my stash from Chic Tags. These are much older. I'm not even actually sure that they're still available in the shop, but I absolutely love them and I use them a lot, and I find that they are often the perfect size for what I'm looking for. Now I'm just adding the tiniest bit of journaling, and it's perfect for this particular photo, and then adding just a little wood veneer pumpkin that is one of the exclusives to this page as well. Turned out really cute, but I've kept it still simple like I like to do. Works out best for me that way. Now I will also start looking through some of the items, and those speech bubbles, like I said already, are perfect, and I'm going to use it on top of this photo where I've left a lot of white space in the photo to add some journaling. And it's just about this new snack that I've been enjoying, and it works out great because I really only need to say the tiniest bit about it, right? I mean, I don't need an entire card about the thing. And so the little speech bubble not only is a fun little embellishment, but it also is a great way to add just the tiniest bit of journaling. Now I adhered one of the cork pieces down on that other photo, and then I am going to get to work adhering one of those flare badges. Now, as I have mentioned in previous videos, if you've watched, I like to use those glue dots on the pieces of flare. They're very, very sticky and they work great. The only problem is that if you do not want to leave them there, you will have some trouble getting all of that adhesive up. Now, as you can see, I'm using another one of those labels, and I'm putting those there so that I can notate which jack-o'-lantern belongs to which sun. Now, as you can see, I am going to leave it blank for now because I actually have to ask my kids which jack-o'-lantern belongs to who because I don't inherently know. And I'm going to go ahead and use some white Kelly Perky alphabet stickers, that I have in my stash to put the dates on top of that spider card with the cork October. I want to keep it really simple. The card itself is so cute and I don't want to really take away from it, and these are just absolutely perfect to go with that. Now I've got everything fairly well laid out. There's just a little bit more that I need to do to this page. So now what I'm going to do is look for a stamp that I can use to journal on that top right photo. It's of two of my sons playing cards in the car while we wait for my other son at baseball. So it works out that I don't really want to cover it up, but I do want to tell the story as well. But I don't need something huge to do that. So a stamp that would provide a couple of words of journaling would be perfect. So I find one in my cart where I keep all the stamps that are sort of project life oriented. And I'm just going to use a piece of cardstock, white cardstock that I have that is trimmed up. It's just sort of a scrap. And my VersaFine ink, and just stamp that right out. And then I will trim it up to get it to the size that I can adhere it onto that photo, and then just add my couple of words of journaling with my Sharpie pen right on top of it. And what I like about this method is it lets me notate what's going on in the photo, but I don't need to write an entire card about it or anything like that. Now that's enough for the right side. I'll go back and do my journaling afterwards. I wanted to ask my sons about those jack-o'-lanterns first, so I needed to do that. So I will finish the journaling afterwards. Now I'm throwing down my photos, and as you can see, I have 3 4x6s, and then I'm using 2 smaller photos. They are really like 3x2s in that lower left right hand spot, and then I've also used the 3x2s in those other spots as well, which typically I wouldn't do. Most of the time I keep them, 3x4, but sometimes I like to change it up, and I do like adding some different things. Plus, that little boo card is so cute, and so is the black and white striped one that's in the kit, so it worked out absolutely perfect for me to use the smaller photos on top of those cards. Now I just adhere those down and then add a little bit of journaling, or embellishing, not journaling, and they're pretty well set, because that's what's cool, is that these cards are already fairly fun and they don't need a whole lot. And I do notice though that I have added a lot more embellishments than I normally would in a typical week, but I can't really help myself because all of these embellishments are so cute, and since I have them laid out on my desk, it's hard not to want to use them. So I'm allowing myself a little bit more embellishing this week with all of this fun that I have here. Now I've added one of those speech bubble journaling cards on top of that 4x6 photo up there, and maybe I wouldn't do that every time, but it is a photo of my son, and then there's a whole bunch of other kids around as well, and I don't need all of the other kids in the photo, so I felt like the journaling was more important than keeping all of the kids, and it works out great, and I am very happy with the results. Now I'm using another one of those labels that I've mentioned on the other side, and I'm just going to add the tiniest bit of journaling to that photo. It's just a little bit, but it's more than a couple of words, a sentence, if you will. So it works out great to use the label. Now I will go back after I'm finished and use add some machine stitching to all of these labels that I've added to these photos. I think it really gives them a little bit of something and then ties the whole page together and makes it a little bit more cohesive. But I will wait and do that when we are finished with this video because you don't need to sit while I am on the sewing machine. Now again, just a little couple of words on that piece of cardstock, which is just a scrap, and adding it to that photo of my son dressed like a carrot. And then I will do the tiniest bit of embellishing and then also the writing on with a pen just to notate who is in the photo as well. Now another speech bubble, which I know I've gone a little speech bubble happy this week, but I pulled them out and they're just perfect, so I figured I might as well use them, right? Don't always remember to pull them out when I'm working on my layout, so this works out okay. I'm going to add my typical journaling lines with my black pen and my ruler to this one, and then add a little bit of journaling about trick-or-treating right on top of it. I like staggering the lines a little bit and not making them exactly in line because then they have a more playful look, and then also I don't have to worry about if they're perfect. If I did like where I wanted them all the same, I'd really have to match them up and make sure that they were all in line, otherwise they would look just messy. So this way it's perfect. And I add a little bit of journaling about Halloween and about trick-or-treating, like I mentioned already, and then I will be finished there, except I do want to add a little piece of flair, so I will do that as well. Now that bottom right hand photo, I am just going to use a grid card from my stash and adhere those to there, and it'll actually probably be the most, I don't want to say the most creative, but the most homemade or handmade or whatever card that I've done in a little bit, because I'll add the photos and a little bit of washi tape and the tiniest bit of journaling and some embellishments, and so it's really just completely all my own. And like I've said in the past, what I like about adding the two photos to one card is I get to tell the entire story with more than one photo, but I don't have to do it in different slots, so I can really get more on that particular card. Now, as you can see, I'm adding the journaling, and I've already added one of the embellishments, so next will be a little bit of washi, and then I will also add the last of the cork embellishments from the Chic Tags exclusives. So anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this look at my week 44 of Project Life and how I used all of the Chic Tags exclusives on this particular layout. If you liked my video, it would absolutely make me so happy if you left me a thumbs up. It lets me know you like it. Thanks so much and have a great day.